All right, hello everybody. This is Jamonster with Digiopas. We're going to be doing a very special deck profile today. This is Tuesa's Black War Greymon Gaiomon deck that he took first with in this past weekend's regionals, webcam regionals. So, Tuesa, if you want to get into the deck profile, we can get started.
Yeah, sure will. So we play 5 eggs in the deck. We play the standard 4 Coromon from the BT9 side. You need the 1k boost, and you also play the 5th egg, the Coromon. Ideally, you want to see this early game and never want to see a late game, but usually you do cycle through all 5 eggs.
I know a lot of people kind of do opt into playing 4 eggs, especially with the aggro meta that we're in right now. How do you feel about the 5 eggs as opposed to 4?
I never really felt like I needed to cycle through all 5 eggs, and the only time you really go through 5 eggs is when you're going against security control. But in the security control matchup, this egg becomes more of a liability towards the end of the game. So I do see how you could just go all with just playing just the 4 eggs with the DP boost overall.
Perfect.
And then we go into the rookies, play 14 rookies. Play a little bit of split of 7 DP boosts and 7 searchers. So you play 4 of the 2k promo Agumon, the most important rookie, in order to gain boost to reach those different thresholds. And you also do the split of the 3 starter deck Agumon with a 1k boost. Not as important as this one, but the 1k boost does come up when you try to hit with those megas and those ultimate late game.
No, for sure. I can totally see this. The DP boost in general helping you hop over those thresholds, but it's kind of more so always having a DP in your rookie slot, right? Like when you're going into your Digivolution lines, you're looking at kind of like beating over certain things, and when you have your baselines are 12, right? 12 and 13. So when you're bumping it up to 13, 14, you can consistently feel that. Now you have your Black War Greymon beating over 13s when it's matching your Gaiomon. You don't have to rely on just going to Gaiomon when you can for sure hit that threshold. So I can totally see that being strong.
Yeah, it definitely helps for sure when you can get to your Metal Greymon X antibody. We can have a lower fight swing over 14Ks in security and not worry about anything.
Also, clearing your opponent's level 5, having 9k is a huge thing as well when your opponent's on a rested level 5 or something.
And we play 3 of the BT9 Agumon Searcher, just your generic kind of search that you want to throw out. And then you play 4 of the Agumon X. Honestly, like the best one for searching, if ideally you could just throw out this one and evolve up so you can cycle through more cards.
Okay.
And most of the time, it does help out to have an X antibody just that you can just evolve into and later on get keyboard memories from it as well.
Kind of like a mini Hammer Spark in your rookie slot.
Yeah, so like usually when my opponent leaves me at 1, they don't think that I can get to 2 memories. You could just evolve this for free, gain a memory, and get the search and cycle through. So 7-7 split, it seems to be working out pretty good.
Yeah.
I did not opt to play Black Agumon just for consistency reasons as well.
Consistency is always key in this game for sure. So I love it how it's half DP boost because that's really important, half search because that's really important. So makes a lot of sense for the rookie count.
And that's it for the rookies.
Awesome.
Playing to the champions, play like the most important champion, the Blocker Greymon. It's the best one, but it also, you do run into some kind of consistency issues if you're not seeing the Greymon X because you only play a few fights that can actually evolve on top of him. But he is the most important piece you always want to see and dig for.
It's definitely when you're playing against Black War Greymon, that's the level 4 that you look for when you're looking in raising. Like, is it the blocker in raising or is it the blocker on board yet? Okay.
Yeah, your opponent's always going to be asking you for whether if you have the blocker or not.
Awesome.
And we have to put 4. Then you play 4 of the Greymon X. I would say like honestly like the second most important card, arguably the best one to give us protection. You can honestly, if you have this one out, you're sitting pretty well against many of the matchups, like the mirror match against Garou. You're sitting pretty well in there. Then you also play 2 of the BT5 Greymon. I play it for the memory efficiency. I play it just to gain the memory back.
Yep.
Just to get your champion for 1. The 2K comes up occasionally. Not really something too important in the overall game state.
One thing I see that you and a lot of other high-level red players, high-level Gaiomon players do, I see you guys when you're on 3, say your opponent, did evolve to 5 to put you on 3 on turn 2, you'll play that Searcher Agumon for 3, go to 0, search your top 3, and then Digivolve into this Greymon for 1 as a way to choke and present kind of like a board space. And now you're just 1 level away from level 5 on board, which can Digivolve into a level 6 in the same turn. So super, super scary for sure.
And then for the last champion, we play 1 of the Greymon. Honestly, it's not the favorite Greymon to play. I don't play the deck super aggressive, so I'm not looking forward to have it. But if it's the only Greymon I have, I do go for it.
Yep.
It's good against the security control matchup, but is only really good for that matchup based on how I'm playing the deck.
Okay. Yeah, I think looking outside, as a not red player looking into the red color, that Greymon is something I feel like everybody thinks that you play all the time, but it's super interesting to see it at a 1-of and being effective as a 1-of, so super, super cool.
And that's it for the champions. We go straight into the ultimates. We're playing 4 of the most important Metal Greymon. Yeah, it costs 4, but it's honestly the best way to give everybody. And if you have the Greymon X underneath that, you can honestly just bring out the stack and just end the board with just this guy on board. Giving up a body is a bonus. Really.
Definitely.
But you play for the inheritable.
I can't remember who said it in the group chat, but somebody said that they could rename the deck Black, or what is that, Metal Greymon? Yeah, you could just rename it Metal Greymon because he does so much work for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then
Awesome.
you play the 1 Alterius mode. I mean, you could bump this out to 2. It does come up where you could pop those 5k bodies.
Okay.
Sometimes if you can't see the Greymon X, it has this Metal Greymon X has the same inheritable effect that you could just climb into as well. You play 3 Metal Greymon X antibodies. Arguably like the best card of the deck. Many people forget that the 3k boost lasts until the end of your opponent's turn. It has won in many games where they just forget about it.
Yep.
And then the finale against the security control guy, I boosted up the Metal Greymon X by 3k and Voltugon for 16, and they Wyverns for 15 to pass turn, but
It just
it
is,
didn't
yeah,
kill it,
15 isn't 16. So,
yeah, many people forget that it's there, and they
Yeah.
just crash into it for free.
Yep. Even with Grandis, when I'm swinging with Grandis, I do play the 1k egg as opposed to the Digiburst egg. So when I'm swinging 17, it can be really scary when your Digimon is plus 3k going into my turn, because I'm swinging 17. If you have other boosts on your turn and you have a big old like 16k blocker, what can I do? Or if your Omnimon's 18k, that is the scariest thing for that deck. So
yeah, and definitely like he's like you're like a mini Omega right there, because you get the +1 security, and with the boost in the stack, you can hit 13, 14k with 2 checks, and you can just leave on board and build up another stack and raise or something.
yeah, yep.
And then for the Megas, we play 6 Megas. We play 2 Black or Greymons to pop those Tamers. It's nice, but the fact that most of the time you will pass turn with it, it's not the most ideal scenario, but when your opponent's playing a lot of Tamers and you're playing a more control route, this is the best card to play.
Cool.
We play 3 Gaiomons. Gaiomons, this is more of the aggro part of the deck. You're checking 2, get that reboot. Ideally, if you get him out and you're building it with the Metal Greymon at the same turn, you're checking 3 and then 2 next turn, which is practically your swinging for game almost in just 2 turns.
Definitely. In your level 6 slot, you're only playing 5, and I know that a lot of people like to play between 6 and 7. How did 5 work out for you? I know you play a card later in your list that kind of facilitates it, but did you get there with 5 all day?
Oh, I actually play 6.
Oh, you play a 6?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so for a while, I have been playing 5, and 5 does work out. You go through so much cycle that you see at least one of them, right? And since these stacks are powerful on their own, like you could just sit on one of these Megas and never see the other 4, and you can sit pretty well with it.
Definitely.
And the new tech choice, and I think everyone's been playing the War Greymon for the security control matchups. And it has come up where you had 3 memories, but you can't find your guy out, but you don't want to go Black or Greymon. With the stack, you can go into War Greymon, attack over their bodies or go for their security, and it just went on to see build another stack.
Definitely.
Ideally, you want to see this late game. You're not going for the OTK, so you want to see it right when they're at less than 3 securities, but it does come out with this guy's more important. And that's it for the level 6s.
I do like seeing the 6 level 6s there for sure.
And for the 7s, we play 1 Animon Blitz and 1 Animon X Antibody. Animon Blitz, this would finish out games, and Animon X Antibody for the grandest matchups where you just need to negate those attacks. And it did come up where in my deeper matchups where they were rushing me down, and Animon X Antibody was able to just stay on board and negate their attacks while deleting their bodies on my turn. Enough stall game for me to build up my second stack and just to win from there.
Definitely. I think that card in this whole entire format has performed. Even if it's just a 1-of or a 2-of, that card has been super strong. And like I said, I'm a Grandis player that I have nightmares about that card. So I totally see.
It's surprisingly, like, since you play so many cool boys in the deck, you will be having this as an option to pick up as well. And that's it for the 7s. We play the Tamers. We only play 4 Tamers. We play the full Cool Boys. The full Cool Boys is just there just to search, but more importantly, just to gain those memories out. since you're playing so many X antibodies and you're just trying to raise up and evolve into them, you're just getting the memory to progress your plays. I don't play any memory tamers because I honestly feel like you're not seeing your first turn, or if it's not hitting security, you're not getting much value from it because you're trying to be as progressive with the game state as possible. And just throwing a tamer out for 4 and not doing anything with those red tamers, it really does slow you down, especially since the red tamers aren't really that good at progressing the game state.
For sure, compared to like a blue Davis or even like a green Mimi and things like that, yellow TK as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least TK does something.
Yep, TK can fix your hand and give you, you know, access to a second hand. But yeah, I can see why.
And I don't play Nokia's. Nokia's kind of like the same reason as the memory tamers. If you're not getting for free in security, or if you're not playing the first turn, you're not going to get much value from it.
Yeah. And
that is it for tamer. For the option cards, we play 4 Mamboozers. It's like the replacement for the memory tamer. If it gets hit in security, you get 2 free memories that your opponent was not accounting for.
Yep.
You get a search off of it if you are playing from your hand. More ideally, if you are breaking or something, you just play this. You set up for next turn, get a search.
Yeah, a lot of people know that turn 1 memory boost looking for a rookie.
Yeah, those. You do need those burst turns as well.
Yep.
And lastly, you play the one Congo.
No Gaia Force, but the Congo.
Yeah, so the Congo is for honestly security control matchups or any variants that is playing Chaos D grades.
Yep.
But with the rise of D Brigade, it does help stall a turn as well.
Yeah, for a whole turn.
And I opted out for no Gaia Forces in this set or this deck, and I just replaced it with the Greymon and the War Greymon and the Animon X because it was only important for the grandest matchups. Many of the decks like War Greymon and the Mirror Match and Alphamon, they get the protection from it. So when they hit in security, you gain no value from it, and when you're drawing, it's like a dead card in your hand, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And Animon X, it basically answers that same problem that Gaia Force was answering, where if they're hitting in security, it's a 15k body, but it's also something I can grab and search off with more consistently and play off of that.
Yep, I like that.
Never missed it, never came up, but I could see how one would want to put the Gaia Force in.
No, 100%.
Yeah,
but Congo performed.
Yeah, I mean, your opponent is attacking, assuming there's a Gaia Force in there, and that's enough just to deter them from attacking as well.
Okay, cool. And then kind of just going over a quick tournament review, what were your matchups like throughout the day? And I mean, you went 8-0, so were there any matchups that you felt were extremely close, where maybe you won just kind of by the luck of the momentum that you were going off of or anything like that? Or what was your hardest for the day?
Oh yeah, the last matchup, my final match against the security control, definitely the hardest one. I think looking back on it, you're playing around so many different cards, right? And then when you play over one card, you hit into the card you were not expecting to hit. And then your play style is a lot more different from when you're playing against other decks, where you're just trying to keep bringing out bodies and attacking their securities, and just try to get them down to a threshold in which you can control the game state.
Yep.
You just gotta bring them down to a game state where they either have to recover or remove your bodies. And that game took like so much mental energy. It's the 8th round, all drain of our thinking power. And aside from that, Alphamon match was also pretty hard too. They can make the come out of nowhere, and you also have to account for the 16k bodies and security when you're swinging to their security in there. Because usually when you're swinging in their security, in anyone's security, you're not worrying about dying in battle. But then when you're going against the Alphamon matchup, you do have to worry about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, wonderful. Yeah, no, if that was your tournament roundup, I mean, you played a fantastic tournament. I mean, congratulations from everybody in Minnesota. We're all so proud of you. So you crushed the tournament. Watching you play in the finals, I think you played amazingly. So, no, congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, this is going to be it from us today. But we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Did you help us out?